Hello everyone. So students, today we are going to discuss MCQ from the poetry section. Our first poem is My Mother at 66. Question number 1. The mother's old age and lack of energy is a depiction of the poetess' helplessness in old age, joy and fun of old age, bonding of mother with family members, sickness or ill health. So you can see here the answer that the mother's old age or the lack of energy is a depiction of the poetess' helplessness in old age. Second one, the poem is made up of 20 lines, single line, 10 stanzas, 5 stanzas. So here we can say that the question's answer is a single sentence because every sentence is a individual one. There is no stanza form in this poem. In question number 3, the image of married children has been brought out by the narrator in order to show energy and exuberance of young child, so the children playing, to show the children playing pranks and to compare with herself. So answer will be so energy and exuberance of young children. Question number 4. The narrator is only using her smile to cover up her pain, make herself happy, to make her mother happy and to make her father happy. So here answer is cover up the pain with the smile. You can cover your pain behind it. So here the smile is used to cover up her pain. Okay, question number 5. Smile and smile and smile is. So alliteration, repetition, simile or metaphor. So here we can see that smile and smile and smile. So it's a repetition of the sound. So repetition will be our answer. 6.1. She said to her mother. She यानी कि poetess said to her mother, goodbye, au revoir, good morning, go, and see you soon, Amma. So the answer is see you soon, Amma, the departing word of poetess and her mother. When the narrator looked at her mother again, she felt a pang of her familiar act, guilt, headache or a headache. So the answer is a familiar ache. The poetess herself knew that how her mother felt when she was alone. 8.1. The narrator again compared her mother to summer's sun, rain clouds, late winter's moon, and trees and plants. The answer will be the late winter moon. 9.1. Children's spilling out is an dash. To here the poetic device, we have options simile, metaphor, personification and transferred epithet. So the answer is metaphor. So here is a comparison of children. Trees sprinting is a poetic device. It is personification, alliteration, repetition or simile. So here we have 4 options and our correct answer is personification because here we are comparing that trees as a living being. 11th one, she soon put that thought out of her mind and smiled, laughed heartily, cried bitterly, looked out of the window. So answer is looked out of the window. She forgot all her pain and looked outside. Next one, the poetess says her mother looked pale like a corpse, ghost, malnourished child or anemic person. So answer is corpse, like dead body. The person in the car beside the poetess was her aunt, her niece, her uncle, her mother. Right? Definitely we know that the answer is her mother. She was going to Goa, Mumbai, Cochin or Kolkata. The answer is Cochin. Kamala Das was and Bengali, Punjabi, Keralite or Gujarati. The answer is Keralite. What were the words she used while parting from her mother? See you soon ba, see you soon biji, see you soon mataji, or see you soon amma. So the answer is see you soon amma. Whose house the poet was living? Her friend's house, in-laws house, her husband's house, or her parents' house? So the answer is her parents' house. 8-in-1. What does the expression smile, smile and smile signify? Poet was going home and was elated. Poet was happy. Poetess was hopeless, and poetess desperate efforts to hide her fears. So here the poet's desperate efforts to hide her fear. When we are fearing of something, we try to overcome by with our smile. What question arises from the complexity of the situation in the poem? Option A, what to do in the old age, how to make care of own skin, how to drive, and how to strike balance between duties and responsibility. Right, this one is the exact complexity in the lesson in the poem, to strike between duties and responsibility. What does the narrative single sentence style of the poem highlight? Poet's feeling, poet's insecurity, poet's thought, and poet's intervening thoughts. The answer is poet's intervening thought, how he thought about her duty and her responsibility towards her mother. Why does the poet feel parted, upset and sad? Option A, because of her fears, because she was getting late, fear of missing her flight, or because of her duty towards mother and her own needs. Right, this one is the answer. Next one. Quote an example of personification used in the poem. Sprinting tree, home to Cochin, airport security check. All of this, the answer is sprinting trees refer as personification in the poem. Quote an example of metaphor used in the poem. So options are: as a late winter's moon, trees sprinting and the married children spilling out of their homes, driving from my parents' home and none. So answer is trees sprinting, the merry children spilling out of their homes. So here there is a comparison and comparison by the metaphor. Which rhyming scheme is used in the poem? Couple, monorhyme, alternative rhyme, or free verse? So here free verse is used. As we can see that there is a single line written in the poem, no stanza. So free verse style is used here. Why did the poet look at the mother again? Because she was busy, because she was going away, because she wanted to stay back, and because of fear and insecurity. And mother has old age, that's why the poetess felt that fear and insecurity to leave her mother alone. What is the universality of the theme of the poem? Death is true, life is reality, everyone is happy and to so old age. The answer is death is a truth. What do the parting words see you soon amma signify? So here we have options: her carelessness, her optimistic farewell full of cheerfulness, she bids goodbye like this and says in a hurry. So here her optimistic farewell full of cheerless. See you soon amma यानी कि वो बोल रहे कि हम लोग वापस मिलेंगे यानी कि वो optimism है कि when she will meet her mother again, her mother will be happy and fine. What does ashen face signify? Color of face. Face is covered with ash. Pale and lifeless face of poet's mother and to so ugly face. So answer is the pale and lifeless face of poet's mother. Next one. What do the running trees signify? Fast moving appearance, speed of the moving car, the fast moving changes in human life from childhood to old age, and none. So right answer is C, because with the age we pass childhood time, adolescent time, young age, and finally towards the end of our life. What did the poet realize with pain? Her mother's appearance like a corpse, is inconsiderate, old age is pleasant, and she has duties. So answer is her mother's appearance is like a corpse. Why? Because with the old age. What does this narrative style of poem signify differing thoughts, many thoughts, contrasting thoughts, a single thread of thoughts mixed with the harsh realities. So a single thread of thoughts mixed with harsh realities. Harsh realities यानी कि the poet is in dilemma to choose his duties and responsibility towards his duties and his needs, and so this one expresses the reality of the modern age. Which poetic device is used in trace printing? So the answer is personification, as we have also seen before in our previous question. Name the poetic device used in the poem: metaphor, simile, alliteration, all of this. So we can see all of this figures of speech in a poem. What is the kind of pain and ache that the poet feels? Losing her mother, heart attack, headache, and children screaming at her. The losing her mother. Who is the poet of this poem? John Keats, Rudyard Kipling, William Wordsworth, Kamala Das. The answer is Kamala Das. What punch did she feel when she looked at her mother? Punch of headache, stomachache, knee ache, or heartache. So the answer is heartache. Why? Because she feel very bad for her mother, that she had to leave her mother in this old age. What was the poetess' childhood fear? Parting from her husband, from her friends, sibling, or losing her mother? So the answer is losing her mother. What was the experience of poetess face while parting from her mother? Historical, funny, sad, or smiling? So the answer, definitely it's a farewell time. It's to say goodbye to her mother, but still on her face we can see that smile. Why smile? Because from inner side she was completely fearful, but she wanted to be strong in front of her mother. How is the imagery of young trees and married children contrast to the mother? Mother is old in comparison to the trees and children. Mother is like as while the trees are green and children are happy, like spring and autumn season. Mothers held hopelessness and on trees, and married children youthfulness and hope. So definitely this will be the answer. जैसे कि मदर्स हेल्थ जो है वो होपलेसनेस है, और ट्रीज और मैरिज चिल्ड्रन है वो क्या यूथ है और न्यू होप है. एंड द लास्ट वन, व्हाट डज द पोएम रिवॉल्व अराउंड? पोएट्स फियर, पोएट्स लव फॉर हर मदर, theme of old age, and all of this. So answer will be all of this, because all the things included in the poem. So this one is the MCQs of our poem number 1, Mother at 66. Now let's see the poem number 2. So let's start here our poem number 2. An elementary school classroom in a slum. So as we remember the word lesson, it's about that slum areas children, that poet focus on their lifestyle, that they also need our attention. So let's see first one, identify the literary device in slums as big as dome. So here we have options: simile, metaphor, alliteration, and personification. The answer is simile. Why simile? Because as so it's easy one to remember and identify. Identify literary device in the whose language is the sun. The answers options are simile, metaphor, alliteration, and personification. So answer is metaphor. So metaphor यानी कि indirect comparison using like, as if, all this. Break, oh break, what should they break? The donation, all bathers, the slums, the schools. So the answer is all bathers, यानी कि all the barriers they should break. The imprisoned minds and lives of the slum children can be released from their bondage if they are given an experience of outer world, never, soon, eventually, or magically. So answer is magically. If you want to give something nice to them, then definitely first of all you have to free from all the bondages to them and put them in a outer world. Next one, identify the literary device in spectacles of steel. So here we have options like simile, metaphor, alliteration, personification. So answer is metaphor. Here is also indirect comparison. The last stanza is unlike the rest of the poem, long, short, optimistic or pessimistic or pessimism. So the answer is the last para is optimistic. If we pay attention towards it, it will be their days will come. Where do their lives slyly turn? In their cramped holes, towards the sun, towards the school, towards the windows. The answer is their cramped holes. You will easily get this answer from the poem. If you read this poem carefully, you understand it nicely and able to answer. The map is a bad example as it makes one aware of beautiful world, cleaner lanes, the political structure and the civil design. The answer is the beautiful world. Identify the literary device in futures painted with a fog. So here we have options simile, metaphor, alliteration, personification, and the answer is again here metaphor. Futures painted like और as, so you can use imagery here like और as. यहाँ पे भी indirect comparison है. Shakespeare is a wicked because he is the children, educates, tempts, love or hates. So answer is tempts. Tempts यानी कि temptation. Next one is, what does the map represent? Worlds of rich and powerful, world of poor, world of slum school children, and world the poet wants for the slum children. So here the world of rich and powerful person. यहाँ पे जो वो मैप है वो क्या दिखा रहा है कि वन साइड तो स्लम एरिया है कम्प्लीटली, वो स्लेव लाइफ और सेकेंड साइड दिखा रहा है तो रिच एंड पावरफुल लोग भी यहाँ पे एग्जिस्ट करते हैं. What is the stern boy reciting? The lesson from his desk, Shakespeare's poetry, Leaves of Nature, his composition. So the answer is the lesson from his desk. 13.1. On sour cream walls, donations suggest schools are well equipped. Schools are small but they try to impart education. Schools have a poor and ill-equipped environment. Schools meet the education requirements of the school of the children through donation. So the answer is the schools have a poor and ill-equipped environment. स्लम एरिया में स्कूल है डेफिनेटली ये तो होना ही है. Who sits at the back of the class? A sweet and young pupil, a paper skimming boy, a tall girl, a girl with hair like rootless weeds. So the answer is a sweet and young pupil. Sweet and young pupil. Next one is the color of sour cream is white, yellow, off-white or pale. The answer is off-white. The paper skimming boy with red eyes means the boy is shy and secretive, short and lean, hungry and thin, and sad and depressed. So the answer is hungry and thin. Rat's eyes मतलब वो बहुत भूखा है, जैसा लग रहा है कि बहुत पतला भी हो गया है. किसकी वजह से? Lack of nutrition. Identify the literary device in father's granule disease. Options are simile, metaphor, alliteration and personification. Again here we can see that metaphor. In this poem maximum we will get metaphor. Here fathers compare with some disease. So here there is a father's outlook compare with a disease. Identify the literary device in rat's eyes. Simile, metaphor, alliteration, or personification. So rat's eyes is here again here metaphor. Eyes like rats. Identify the literary device in like roofless weeds. Simile, metaphor, alliteration, or personification. So the answer is simile. Like direct comparison है यहाँ पे. What does gusty waves imply? Slum children, energetic children, decreased children, or unhappy children. So the gusty waves imply the energetic children. 21. What does the expression break or break open suggest? Barriers on the road, barriers on garbage heap, barriers of dirty environment must be broken, or none. So the answer is barriers of dirty environment must be broken. 22. What have the windows done to the children's lives in the poem? Shut the door, block the passage, clog the sunlight, have shut the children inside and block their growth. So here the answer will be have shut the children inside and block their growth. यानी कि वो जो स्लम स्कूल है उनमें उन लोगों ने पूरा अपना जो फ्यूचर है बस वहाँ तक ही रखा है. उसके बाहर की दुनिया उनको कुछ पता भी नहीं है और इवन दे आर नॉट इंटरेस्टेड टू नो. What does the poet sow through expression? Sow blood that maps with slums as big as dome. Is plot this street only. Enjoy the maps, big maps. Or poets protest against social injustice and inequalities. So answer will be D1. Poets protest against social injustice and inequalities. Mention any two images used to explain the plight of slum children. Open-handed map from his desk, bell and flowery, foggy slums and bottle lids, bits of stones. So the answer is mention any two images used to explain the plight in slum children. So the answer is foggy slums, bottle, bits of stones. Next one is what attracts the slum children? The animals, the movies, ice cream, or all beautiful things like sheep and sun. So answer is all the beautiful things like sheep and sun, because they are hardly see all this one. In what scene are the slum children different? Their IQ. What sense they are different? IQ, their wisdom, their dresses, because of access to hope and openness of the world. So answer is this one. This one is different. What does the expression open-handed map show? Power of poor, the poor are powerful, the poor are powerless. Maps are drawn at the orders of powerful people like Hitler. So the answer is D1. जो डिफरेंस है मैप्स यानी कि जो डिफरेंस है दोनों सोसाइटी में वो कोई पावरफुल इंसान के थ्रू ही वहाँ पे किया गया है. What is the stunned boy reciting? A happy song, a religious song, a sad song, a lesson from the desk? And the answer is lesson from the desk. We also discussed this one before in different contexts. Who was sitting at the back of the dim class? A girl, an old man, a teacher, or unnoticed young boy? So the answer is unnoticed young boy. What kind of look the faces and hair of the children give? Rich and beautiful, organized, healthy, pale faces and scattered and unadorned hair. So the answer is pale faces and scattered and unadorned hair. Why is the head of the tall girl weighed down by the burden of studies, by the burden of work, by the burden of the world, or all of this? So answer is by the burden of the world. What does the poet wish for the children of the slums? He wishes them to be happy and healthy. He wishes a good change for them. He wants them to lead a healthy and happy life, and all of this. So here the answer is all of this, because poet want all good things for that slum children. How can powerful people help the poor children? By fighting with the government, by fighting with the powerful, by bridging gaps of inequalities and injustice, and by fighting with the rich. So according to you, what will be the answer? They have to become a bridge, and they have to cover the gap between inequality and injustice towards the upper class and lower class. What do catacombs signify? Underground cemeteries showing irrelevance of the map hanging on the wall of the classroom, irrelevance of the classroom, irrelevance of the school, and irrelevance of the children. So the correct answer is underground cemeteries showing the irrelevance of the map hanging on the wall of the classroom. What was the boy with red eyes trying to escape from? So options are bright light outside, openness of trees, dim light of the class, and children in the classroom. So answer is dim class of the light of the class. 36. What do the faces of children in the slum areas reflect? Happiness, their aspirations, their happiness, or sadness and lack of enthusiasm? So the answer is सैडनेस एंड लैक ऑफ एंथुजियाज्म. वी कैन ईजिली, अगर हम लोग को पूरी समरी पता है लेसन की, पोएम की, तो हम लोग ईजिली यहाँ पे आंसर कर सकते हैं. व्हाट आर द पोएटिक डिवाइस यूज इन द पोएम? अल्टरेशन एंड सिमिली, मेटाफर एंड इमेजिनरी, synecdoche and irony, and all of this. So the answer is all of this. In every line we will get a new figure of speech or poetic device. What kind of life the children living in slums have? Full of love, full of care and warmth, hopeless and full of struggle, and all of this. So answer is hopeless and full of struggle. This is the life of slum people, especially children. What does the poet portray in the poem? Young mind, playfulness of the children, questions of young mind, and the plight of young children in the slums. So answer is this one. Who has written Elementary School Classroom in a Slum? Kipling, Wordsworth, Kamalnath, or Stephen Spender? The answer is Stephen Spender. This one, last one. Next, what does the poet want? To send the children out of the slum, to send the children to America, to send the children on to open fields, and to send the children to the beach. So the answer is out of the slum. नहीं अमेरिका में भेजना है, नहीं कहीं और कंट्री में भेजना है, सिर्फ उनको जो स्लेवरी है, जिनको स्लम लाइफ है, वहाँ से बाहर निकालना है. What other freedom the poet wants the slum children to enjoy? Freedom of roaming, freedom to spend money, freedom to eat, or freedom of knowledge, wisdom and expression? So the answer is D, freedom of knowledge, wisdom and expression. What do the governor, inspector, visitor in the poem depict? Higher officials, government officers, political people, and powerful and influenced people. So definitely answer is powerful and influenced people. What blots the map of the slum children? Garbage, blockage, stones in the streets, and dirty slums. So the answer is dirty slums. The last one, what do the words from fog to endless night mean? Bright light outside, bright future, hopelessness, dark and uncertain future of slum children from birth to death. So this one is your answer. So these are the MCQs of that our poem, Elementary School. So right now we are with poem number 3, Keeping Quiet. First question is, the poet uses conversational style and personal pronouns you, we, I because options are He wants to be intimate with mankind. He tries to read out to the readers. He wants establish contact easily, and third person is ineffective. So your answer is he tries to read out to the readers. The last line of the poem is, and letter proves to be alive. Life is what it is about. I want no truck with death, and you keep quiet and I will go. So here the poet want to know the meaning of the last line, and the last line meaning is you keep quiet and I will go. This one will be the answer. Next, man needs to learn a lesson from moon, stars, earth or sun. So the answer will be earth. We should learn lesson from the earth. According to the poet, wars that are fought have no soldiers, weapons, fighter planes or survivors. So आंसर इज सर्वाइवर्स, यानी कि हमारे जैसे लोग. कोल्ड सी इज अ पोएटिक डिवाइस, पर्सोनिफिकेशन, ट्रांसफर्ड एपिथेट, मेटाफर, अल्टरेशन. सो द आंसर विल बी ट्रांसफर्ड एपिथेट. सी तो है लेकिन कैसा है? कोल्ड सी. सो ट्रांसफर्ड एपिथेट. Without rush, without energies refers to no voice, no hurry to go to office, no traveling, no holidaying. So the answer is no noise. कोई आवाज़ नहीं. The poet wants the entire humanity to keep talking, keep running, keep laughing or keep still. So the answer is keep still. Have no truck with death means will not die of the truck accident, remove poverty and illiteracy, have no association or deal with death, or will not drive a truck. So the answer will be have no association or deal with death. The poet advocates the balance of nature to be maintained, destroyed, temporary, disturbed or ignored. The answer is maintain. Balance of nature to be maintained. To survive here. What does the man threaten himself with? Death, birth, robbery or suicide? So answer is here death. Where would they by walking in the park, along the river, in the shade or on the road? The answer is in the shade. आपको एक बार पोएम रीड करनी होगी, पोएम रिफ़र करनी होगी, उसके बाद ही आपको एमसीक्यूज सारे समझ में आएंगे. The types of wars the poet talks about are green wars, war with gas, war with fire, verbal wars, technological warfare or nuclear one. So the answer is green wars, wars with gas, with fire. 13 fishermen in the cold sea would not harm seahorses, mermaids, whales, tortoise. So the answer is whales, because it's their house. What kind of a moment would it be when everyone is silent? Terrible, painful, exotic, unforgettable. So the moment will be exotic. Next one, the poet appeals to the reader to keep quiet for 20 seconds, 1 hour, 30 seconds, 12 seconds. So answer is 12 seconds. What can human beings learn from nature? Beauty, keeping quiet, to be happy, working with silence. So the answer will be working with silence. अगर हम लोग 12 seconds भी चुप हो जाए तो वाओ, like the world isn't completely इन डिफरेंट ओवरव्यू. अगर सारे जो चुप हो जाएंगे तो लाइक हम लोग स्टेचू के जैसे हो जाएंगे. 17.1. What symbol from nature and the poet uses to prove that keeping quiet is not total inequality? So the options are sun, soil, earth, nature and earth. So answer is nature and earth. How will silence benefits the man and nature? So options are both will be friends, men will know nature better, men will be healthy, men will stop hurting nature, and both will heal themselves. So this one will be the answer. While gathering salt, what will happen to the man if he keeps silent for a moment? So the answer will be he will stop dropping it, he will look at the ground, he will walk carefully, and he will think of the harm the salt is doing to his hands. So this one will be our answer. Next one is, why is the poet asking everyone not to speak any language? Because to avoid noise, to avoid loud noise, voices, to avoid people, or to avoid conflict and misunderstandings, right? The answer is to avoid conflict and misunderstanding. If you will keep silence, if you will not use any language, so there will be a no war. What would everyone feel at that exotic moment? Happy, content, dancing, strange, blissful, oneness. So the answer is strange, blissful, oneness. What will happen if there are no engines and no crowd? Noise will be lessened, no crowd on roads, no traffic rush. It will create a perfect happy moment. So the answer is it will create a perfect happy moments. What does the poet want people to do for a second? To sing, to close eyes, to stand quietly, and to be silent and motionless. So the answer is to be silent and motionless. What is always alive even when everything seems to be dead or still? Mountains, rivers, sun, earth and nature are always alive. So the answer is earth and nature are always alive. What is always alive even when everything seems to be dead or still? So nature and earth. What is the sadness in the poem that the poet speaks about? Violence because of the unthoughtfulness of the men, yani people, unnecessary movements, speaking aloud or fighting. The answer is violence because of unthoughtfulness of men. जो violence है, जो war है, वो क्यों हो रहे हैं? Because of us, because our thoughts are completely without any maturity. जैसे हम लोग बोलते हैं और वो implement में रख दिया जाता है. What should not be confused with total inequality or death? No movement, a statue, talking people, stillness and silence. Answer is stillness and silence. Not to be confused with total inequality or death, stillness and silence. Not move our arms. What does this expression refer to? Sit quietly, stand quietly, to be inactive, sitting without any movement. The answer will be D, sitting still without any movement. What does number 12 represent? Hours of the day and months of a year, earth, clock, cricket players. हम लोग यहाँ पे अकॉर्डिंग टू पोएम सोचना है. तो आंसर इज आवर्स ऑफ द डे एंड द मंथ्स ऑफ अ ईयर. बोले ना 12 सेकेंड्स के लिए पोज रखो, यानी कि साइलेंस रखो, वो वाला 12 भी यहाँ पे यूज़ हुआ है. हाउ विल कीपिंग क्वाइट प्रोटेक्ट अवर एनवायरमेंट? बाय क्रिएटिंग अ पीस और ब्रदरहुड फीलिंग्स. नो नॉइज विल बी देयर, पीपल विल नॉट fight and none. So here the answer will be by creating peace and brotherhood feeling. there will be quietness all around, there will be peaceful, or there will be a brotherhood or family like feeling around us. What is the rhyming name used in poem? Enclosed rhyme, monorhyme, sonnet, or free verse? So here the answer will be free verse style. Also that Mother at 66 and Keeping Quiet both written in free verse. According to the poet, what creates barriers? Interaction, reaction, fighting, and language. The answer is language creates barriers. लैंग्वेज ही ना हो, कोई बोले ही ना, तो कोई फाइटिंग होगी? हम लोग तो ह्यूमन है, फिर भी कुछ ना कुछ ढूंढ ही लेंगे नया. What is the essence of message of the poem? Introspection and retrospection, to be more peaceful and be in harmony, to prosper, to be happier, to reach out more people. Answer will be introspection and retrospection, to be more peaceful and to be in harmony. What does the style of the poem symbolize that the poet used to write with? Desire, happiness, hope, desire and hope. So the answer is desire and hope. What does the counting up to 12 signify and how will it help? Hours of the day, months of a year, it will help to create peace and harmony, all. So our answer is all. Because सारी चीज़ें तो 12 indicate कर रहा है ना. What does the title of the poem suggest? Inactivity, noise, unhappiness, maintenance of silence. So the answer will be maintenance of silence. How does the poet perceive life? As stillness, as silence, as a noise place, a continuous evolution of nature. So answer will be a continuous evolution of nature. What are the different kind of wars mentioned in the poem? War against humanity, war against nature, war with gases and fire, all this. So the answer is all this. वॉर्स यहाँ पे है, ये सारे वॉर्स भी है ना, ह्यूमैनिटी के खिलाफ कुछ करो, अगेंस्ट नेचर जाओ या गैस और फायर इंस्ट्रूमेंट को यूज़ करो. विच इमेजेस इन द पोएम सो दैट द पोएट condemns or hate violence, fishermen not harming wells, wars leaving behind no survivors to celebrate, and the poet's refusal to deal with death. And all of this, the answer will all of this. What does hurt hand refer to? Growing needs of the man, growing greed of man, unfulfilled desires, growing insensitivity of man to pain. So answer will be growing insensitivity of man to pain. 14th one, what is the poet expecting from fishermen? To find more fish, to go deeper into the sea, to think and stop harming the fish, or none. So the answer is to think and stop harming the fish. So this one is the MCQs from the poem number 3. So students, read for 1, 2 and 3 poem for our first examination. Okay, we will meet you soon with new topic of revision. Till then, keep watching our channel, like us. Thank you.